You know what we're here to do. You know what day it is. It's Tuesday, so it's that good old King's Tech Talk. Let's get it. Now, as I mentioned in previous weeks, we're finally going to get started and diving into the things that, you actually need, maybe some tangible tools, software that you actually need to go ahead and live on your aspirations, your dreams of maybe running a stream, a live show, a podcast, whatever it may be. I've talked in previous episodes about these software, and I want to provide not just my opinion, but also some of my struggles and my things that I like to stay away from now, in the fact of not all software is created equal. So let's dive right into it. The first one that everyone knows about, the first one that a lot of people, when they first get into creating, especially in the live stream sense, is Streamlabs OBS. Now, Streamlabs OBS, or Slobs as I'm going to say for short, is an incredible program. Don't get me wrong about the things that I will say later on about this. It's a completely intuitive live streaming program that you can stream on different platforms, not just Twitch, but YouTube, Facebook, all of the platforms you can think that provide live streaming. It also has a very interesting and intuitive UI that allows you to not just live stream, but also create a graphically aesthetic, very pleasing stream right inside its own software. Streamlabs provides a membership called Streamlabs Prime. And when you pay for that membership, you get access to all the graphics, all the alerts, all of the things that you would want as a content creator that allows you to be able to interact, but also give that shiny little personal touch to your streams as things are going. With that being said, also included in those are alert widgets and different widgets that you can add to your stream to add extra pop, personal flavor, or just to give that notoriety to the people that are watching your streams. It will pop right up on there. Now, I don't want to get into diving in and thinking that this is going to be a tutorial on these streams. If you want to see a tutorial on these softwares that I will be talking about in this video, drop a comment down below. I will gladly do a software breakdown, maybe an intro, maybe a full-fledged tutorial to teach you all about this. But as of right now, I'm just talking about the softwares that are out there so you guys can start to deep dive and get a little more opinion on them from someone that it seems like you happen to trust. So with Streamlabs, there's a few things that I have that are a handful of issues with the product in Streamlabs, and I'm not going to get into the actual company controversy that's been going on. I am just going to talk about the actual work structure of this program. So the first thing that kind of puts me a little sideways is the fact that you have to pay to play for this. Yes, if you have the abilities to create your own graphics, create your own overlays, create your own alerts, all those things, Streamlabs is still a very great program for you. But if you are at bare bones and you don't have the ability to be able to create those things, you do have to pay that, Streamlabs Prime, as I mentioned earlier. You do have to pay for that to get access to those things that will let you have that personal touch to your stream. Now, whether if that bothers you or not, that's up to you. There's a lot of software. There's also a lot of games, a lot of anything out there that a lot of people are very comfortable with paying for monthly versus putting either the extra work that they would have to do or paying someone else, i.e., a graphic designer, maybe someone on Fiverr or things like that, to help add those splashes to their stream. That is totally up to you. For me, I am a big advocate of doing the most with less. And that is not a scarcity mindset. It is just something that I've always done my entire life. I mean, even when I started doing these streams, as I mentioned before, I did it all with a laptop and my phone camera. And that continued to progress and grow into, well, where we are today. Streamlabs also is a very CPU heavy program. And what I mean by that, for those that may not know, your CPU, your internal processing unit that is inside of your computer, processes everything that you have going on in your computer as far as its whereabouts, how it functions, how fast it can go. And yes, there are other contributing computer components that allow it to become either faster or more efficient, but your CPU does that processing. With Streamlabs, the UI itself, and by UI I mean user interface, the UI itself needs so much to be able to run its programming, especially when you start using those overlays from that program, that if you're working on maybe a laptop, as I mentioned earlier, or a budget-friendly PC, it may start to weigh you down a bit. Now, all open broadcasting software are CPU intensive. It doesn't really get into the GPU, aka the graphics card load, until those graphics and stuff like that need to render and gain their space, so that when you stream, everything comes together very crisp, very sleek, like you would want it to be. Now, there's also other programs out there like Xsplit and OBS and things like that we will also talk about, but Streamlabs gained its notoriety because of those intuitive things within them, as I mentioned, like being able to go straight to that store and being able to pick out a graphic pack that you like and be able to customize it and bring all of your widgets in one-stop shop. I'm not saying it's bad. I am just saying I have found better results by using another program, but we'll get to that one in a second. Xsplit is the next one. Xsplit is a program that I did not become very familiar with until I moved here to Kansas City. And while using Xsplit, there was a lot of things that I was thinking about that I was very harped on why can I change this? Why is this harder to maneuver in this program than others? Why do I feel I'm working harder for a more simple solution than the other programs that I've used? And Xsplit is a great program, but to me, it is not a program that really heightens the cap of creativity for live streamers and content creators that also decide to record their things and be able to go and post edit and all of that. The settings and its UI in itself is not very friendly. You have to kind of be in the know to be able to set up those things and get it going. And I don't want to provide or suggest a program that's going to cause you more research than actually being able to enjoy the tactical uses of that software. But let's get to the Mac Daddy of them all, OBS. Now, for some people, they think OBS is very plain Jane. They think it should be left as the OG of streaming software and not progress any higher. But to me, OBS is the most consistent, the easiest, and the most welcoming program that you can download if you want to be a part of online streaming and content creation. With OBS, it is just as simple as being able to open up a blank canvas and work your magic. Now, the one drawback that a lot of people feel off of OBS that Streamlabs does have is that intuitive UI that you can go straight into it, find a graphics pack, build your stream, and do it all within one. OBS does not offer that at all. It is not a pay to anything. OBS is a blank canvas for you as an artist, as a creator, to go in and work your magic. Now, that does mean if you don't have the capabilities of building that art, building those graphics, you will have to outsource to bring those in. Along with that, that also comes alerts, widgets, like, you know, your chat that you would typically see in most streams, or maybe building those graphics, those logo graphics to be down at the bottom or down at the top, or shouting out your followers with those widgets and those alerts. You have to outsource for those too. But what's really awesome that is out there is a program, actually it's a website called Stream Elements. Now, Stream Elements is it could be an extension basically at this point that you can add to OBS, and Stream Elements actually provides those same things that Streamlabs does, as far as, you know, those graphic packs, those widgets, those overlays, all those things. And guess what? What's very beautiful about it is that you can create it inside of Stream Elements and copy a URL and add it to your OBS as a browser source. What does that actually all mean? Well, that means that your computer does not have to process any of the things that you do in Stream Elements. And for my people that are starting with laptops or budget-friendly computers, well, that means a lot less load on that CPU that we talked about earlier. And OBS in general, at a base of a program, has way less of a CPU load than Streamlabs. So that was part of the reason why I moved to OBS, because when I was working on my laptop, I needed to save every CPU usage percentage possible. And OBS provided that for me, and pairing that with Stream Elements allowed me to be able to continue to venture out and add more things to my stream that I wasn't able to do because my computer couldn't process it. It allowed me to continue to add and design and create all these really great moments in appeal by not using up all my CPU usage. And that is crucial. So as you see at the very top of this video, I am a huge fan of OBS. I'm actually using OBS right now to record. And as I said, this may not be a tutorial, but it is some very healthy advice to my creators. Find a software, no matter my opinion or not, find a software and get to know it. Put the reps in and just practice. Even if you set up all of your things, you got your graphics, you got your logos, you got your widgets, you got your chat, you got all that built, sit down once a day, hit record and practice streaming. Practice being in front of a mic, practice being in front of your camera, practice interacting with your alerts, your chat. See the analytics and the stats that are at the bottom that lets you know how much your computer, your CPU is running at, the frames that may be dropped or skipped, and adjust from there, because that only allows you way better productivity when you are actually live, because now you don't have to think about what is happening with my computer. Is this scene going to work? Is my microphone going to be at the right level? No, when you take those reps and you continue to get comfortable, not only with the software, but your equipment that's at hand, it allows you to be able to breathe, relax, and be yourself, which is the biggest thing when it comes to creating and live streaming. Being able to be yourself in your own comfortable environment and grow from there. These softwares, the products that I am talking about, are not going to make your live stream attractable. That is not what this is. These are services that allow you to be able to stream to other eyes, that those people, the people that are consuming your content, will find your content attractive. You have to be the one to step in front of this camera or step in front of this microphone and be able to provide that unique experience of being on your program that no one else can duplicate, and continue to grow that from there. Being able to use programs like Streamlabs, OBS, even Xsplit is great, but being able to master your craft on the other side by also using those programs is the key to bringing it all together. So get the reps in, find the program that you enjoy. I have downloaded all three of these and used them at a very high rate. So I found a program that I found that was the most comfortable for me, that I could create, explore, and have fun with. And that is the biggest thing. I said it in previous videos, getting to know your technology and your software around you allows you to be able to create a better product, because you know exactly what you're doing. The best software is the one that you know every in and out of. That's not an opinion of mine. That's going to be an opinion that is developed by you. So with that, I'm not going to take up all your time, I promise you. But I want you guys to know that The software doesn't make the creator. The creator uses the software as a canvas to be able to spread whatever message they decide that they want to bring, whether if it's on Streamlabs, whether if it's on OBS, whether if you stream to Twitch, whether if you stream to YouTube. That is the core to this all. We're going to be back next week. We're going to talk about some hardware that I'm going to talk to you guys about and actually give my real hard opinions on some hardware and some brands that just kind of carbon copy that same hardware. So drop a like on this one, drop a comment on what you would want to see before. If you are interested in me doing a full tutorial on any of these programs, let me know. I'll download them and get that ready for you guys. I love you guys. Keep creating.